Right, welcome everyone. So exciting to see you here. Thank you and congratulations for coming to this presentation. That means you care about your future and your life, and you know what's important. Right. So this is the Permaculture Sustainable Communities, an exciting project. It's probably the most exciting project that I've been part of. I've been thinking and kind of working into these projects for the last 5 years, and in the last year since I moved to Romania and we got together, we've been looking for different properties where we can put all of this incredible plant together. uh, so to get to the point, this is the program that we have created. So this is the introduction where we are now. Then Leopold is going to share a permaculture presentation, so you're going to get a clearer idea of what the permaculture means. Then we have the community plan presentation, where I will share the land, the plan, the vision, and the house where we basically gonna create this auto-sustainable community, and what's in for you, how you can be part of us. And at the end, we're gonna have a Q&A session, and this is very important, guys. Once again, this is not something that we is fixed. We're still making the plans. We are still in the planning area. So your thoughts, ideas, and the advices are very important. So please, at the end of the presentation, I want you to be blunt with us and share your thoughts, ideas, and questions, so we can grow and develop this community properly. So welcome everyone. I'm not sure how many of us are we at the moment. I think 15. All right, welcome. So my name is Emmanuel. I'll be your host for tonight. I'm an entrepreneur and I love to develop myself, and I love this idea of changing the subconscious mind. So now we're gonna get again straight to the point. Leopold, I want you to take it from here and share the permaculture presentation, and after that we will go ahead with the community presentation.
All right, I have a mic here, Emmanuel, as well as you do.
All right.
It's not connected with the computer, but I'm just having it right now. Hi, welcome, Catherine. Welcome. So I'm gonna share also the screen about what permaculture is in my vision. Okay, I'm gonna drop the mic at the beginning. I'm gonna share the screen, share the sound. So this is a presentation that I also made for a retreat that I was facilitating at with the guys. Hi Bogdan, I saw you are here with us as well. And this project, as everybody's here, you can see the screen, right? It's working, just so I know. So this is the project that we started with Emmanuel, Katalin, and Leonard, and there are a few more people that also engaged with this project since the beginning of 2021. We just gathered around and we talked seriously about the fact that society is not going the way that we would like collectively. And we thought about situations where things can go rough quickly, and understood the possibility that we may need to move somewhere else in nature to live in harmony with ourselves and, of course, other human beings. Therefore, this project, Farm of Consciousness, which is from Ferma de Conștiință, as it started, and we're gonna present today what is permaculture, sources of energy, principles of permaculture, why do we cultivate, or why do we want to cultivate our food, companion plants, and how do we start. And then I'll let Emmanuel to continue with the presentation about where we are with the land and with the opportunity to invest in our common future, of course. All right. So yeah, I always like to plant seeds, and this is my favorite quote of gardening, The love for gardening is a seed that once sown will never die. And I kid you not, all the seeds that I planted as a child are now trees that I eat fruits from. And the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. Therefore, if you have seeds, continue on watering them with love and trust, and one day, for sure, they will come to fruition. And this is what happened to us. We planted the seeds. It was a common seed that we all planted together, and this seed was regarding space, a place in nature where we had some check marks. So we were, okay, what do we need? We need a paved land, we need concrete, we need a house, we need electricity, we need a plain site to build our permaculture beds. So we all find it together because we watered the seed every day. So what is permaculture? Of course, it's something that is permanent, and culture in itself is, let's say, the etymology of culture is practices that support human occupation on Earth. So permaculture is something that will permanently support human occupation on Earth, because nowadays society is living in a consumeristic way. So permaculture is the opposite of consumerism, basically, because permaculture in itself is a sustainable way of living where the design of the permaculture that you have will produce more energy than it consumes during its lifetime. So this is also the ethics. You take care of Earth, Earth takes care of people, and the surplus goes back to Earth and people. Very important in permaculture is that we need to understand what are the sources of energy to harness. Of course, we use a lot of renewable energy, therefore we will have the sun, water, and air, which are three of our primordial elements. So very important in our community-based project, we will harness sun through photovoltaics panels and batteries, water through a small river that we have. We will capture it in a pond and then let it flow through a water turbine so we can produce electricity from that thing as well. And also we have 5 hills that we can build wind turbines, so we can harness wind energy as well from that point. Now we are talking in an ideal situation. Of course, now I'm presenting you all the possibilities that we would need to survive and thrive on a permaculture land. Bill Mollison is an Australian guy that in 1984 designed his first permaculture university, and this is also his favorite quote: a sustainable system is any system that during its lifetime can produce more energy than is needed to establish and maintain it. We're going to talk now a bit about the most important principles that we would need to understand how permaculture will self-sustain. Very important, permaculture is super different than agriculture because permaculture is using natural elements always. You don't have to dig in the ground and kill the microbiomes and the worms and everything. You build on top the environment, eco-friendly, in a way that nature does itself what it needs to do for things to flourish and nourish the land and the people that are staying on the land. So very important is the position. You always need to position your house in such a way that you understand where the sun rises and sets, to put your solar panels in such a way that you capture as much sun as possible. That's the thing. You always need to observe and interact with the space that you're in, so you can understand what are the cycles, seasonal cycles of nature, and also very important to see where you can capture the most energy from the sun, and from the water and from the wind as well, and also of course from your fruit trees if you have, and we do have a lot of fruit trees on this land that we found. So as I was saying, capture and harness energy. Energy is not just electricity. We have a pond, we can make that pond um, an environment to grow fish as well. So it's very easy to grow fish for those of you that eat meat, of course. Harvest is not just food. So crops can be building materials. We have 20 acres of forest on the land. So we have plenty of trees that we can use for firewood. We can use those trees to also inoculate them to grow our own mushrooms. So the possibilities are infinite. It's just as much as you can imagine, you can do it. Very important is to always, if you find things that don't really work in permaculture design, is to follow up with it and also accept the feedback that nature gives you. We are doing things in the nature's way. We adapt to the nature. We don't make nature adapt to ourselves, because that's impossible. We kind of we are doing this living in the cities, but it's all right, because I think this is the cycle of life. If you come from the countryside, you want to go to the city, and then maybe you don't like it, then you go back to the countryside. I, as a human being that lived mostly in the city, I would love to go to the countryside and yeah, live off grid, because that's what I felt in the past 2 years, literally. Okay, I hope I am not boring with you, getting you bored, because there are some slides here, but there are also principles that are very important for permaculture, as in produce without waste. And this is the main principles that make permaculture different than agriculture, and also the consumeristic behavior that society programmed us to be. So this principle guides us to a conscious way of life, limiting the abusive consumption of resources and the accumulation of waste. Therefore, everything that we may consume that is natural material, we use it as a compost. So compost can be used to fertilize our permaculture beds, and also use it to even create warmth in the winter, if you can imagine. So we use those principles to create the ideal environment for everybody to live. We integrate spaces in between, as you can see on this left slide. So everything is always interconnected, and the more interconnected the system are in between, the more stable and productive the operation will be. That's why I like this term. The union is born strongly, as known as Alfonso knows best, Uniunea naște forță, because we need to do this together to make it happen quickly. So we need to build a foundation that is strong. So the best foundation is built on the people that would be willing to be there, work, and also create togetherness. This is a long-term solution for what is happening in the world, I think. So I'll let you digest the information on your own. We always need to use and value diversity. We combine houses with gardens, ponds with energy control points, solar panels with composite areas, companion plants with permaculture beds, orchards, forests, and rotary boxes for animals to mow the rotating grass. So we actually use everything that we have to create a torus field that is non-stopping producing energy, basically. This is the core of permaculture itself. All right. I'm gonna now ask you a question where you can answer yourself and then show you a video. Why do you think we cultivate our food, or why do we want to cultivate our food? I'm gonna give you the answer with a video that I have for you here. I hope you can all see it.
Reghin, județul Mureș, o imagine desprinsă parcă dintr-un film vechi science fiction despre cum ar urma să arate hrana pământenilor în viitor.
V-ați întrebat vreodată de ce fructele și legumele nu au gust, acelea din hipermarket nu au gust?
Numai că viitorul e deja aici. Această platformă betonată, întinsă pe 1 hectar și acoperită cu sticlă, e locul în care cresc roșiile noastre. Fiecare tulpină își are rădăcina înfiptă într-o saltea de vată. Pământ nu vezi nicăieri.
Practic, cum am văzut, aceste legume și fructe n-au nevoie de pământ. Deci ce aer curat, lumină naturală, soare, procesul de fotosinteză la ce îl învățăm în clasa a doua? Ce, domnule? Nimic. Doar injecții, substanțe sintetice, chimice, foarte în regulă, nu? Ok? Și le folosim fără nicio problemă privind sănătatea noastră.
Sadul vine în cubul acesta, cu anumite rădăcini formate, noi îl așezăm pe salteluța respectivă, după care rădăcinile împânzesc toată salteaua asta. 9 plante sunt aici, pe salteluța asta. Salteluța are 1 metru pe 20 pe 7,5.
Adevărat? Nu, nu este adevărat. Vine cu foarte multe probleme, din păcate.
So yeah, that's a long story short. Why do we want to cultivate our food? Because we don't really know what is in our food anymore. The food that we eat from supermarkets, even sometimes maybe the markets, we don't really know what's the source of it. So it's best to understand what it takes to grow your own food, that you know that you eat to live, not to die. So yeah, the most important, or one of the most important aspects of permaculture is to see it as a garden, more as a garden, is based on the design that flowers can have a potential shield for predators, for some vegetables and fruit trees, and also microplants. So placement of plants will be also important. Those that have a short cycle will be planted in spaces close to the house to facilitate their collection. It will be necessary to keep a plot of land in the area furthest from the house for fruit trees. Then there are border vegetables such as garlic and onions, with which to perish the flower beds themselves. Yeah. For the past 3 months, I visited a friend in nature next to Cluj. His name is Alex Jurj, and in the past 6 years, alone by himself, he also had some helpers. He bought a 10,000 meters square of land, and he managed in 6 years to build only on 100,000 meters square. Excuse me, my math is going crazy right now. So he bought 100,000 meters squared, and he built on only 10,000 in 6 years. So this is what he did with everything on permaculture design. Basically, here, as you can see, this is all his land until the pavement, and this is a forest that he has on the land. So this goes all the way back here. If you can imagine, is 1 more kilometer this way. So that's 100,000 meters square, and this is only 10,000. So everything here is basically recycled material. So he used everything that he has on the land to build what he has. And also recycled materials from people, from other places that people would not need. Basically, he he used trash to build his houses. Trash for other people can be gold for you. So yeah, this video is also 10 minutes. I'm not gonna, if you want the link, I can send you the link after with his YouTube channel. Three of most important permaculture books that you can start with is Bill Mollison book, Permaculture Design. You need to know to understand what mushrooms are edible and not, especially in a mountain area where mushrooms are growing all the time. And yeah, to determine what plants and what animals you have around, so you can understand what kind of predators or what kind of animals you may need to bring so you can be safe. I think this is a long story short of what permaculture is in my vision based on my experience. I don't have a lot of experience, but this is my excitement in, I don't know, 20 minutes. Emmanuel, you can have the microphone back. I'm gonna stop share.
All right, I'm back. Thank you so much, Leopold, for the presentation. Yeah, very clear. Yeah, that was a very good presentation. So welcome all the new members that just came. I'm gonna start sharing my screen.